It's time for another OBS episode, and Aaron already has a list in his large brain of all the things that we're going to do to this truck.
We've talked about, we've got this big camping trip coming up. It's something Emily's family's done for many, many years, since the 60s actually. This truck's going to be towing Emily's grandparents' travel trailer, which is a 24-foot. They've been towing it with a Suburban, but it's just too much weight on the Suburban, and the Suburban's getting old. So we're going to do some basic stuff. I would love to say that we're going to put new fenders on it, doors, paint it, but I seriously doubt we'll get to that because we also have to work on Lila's truck, it's going, and get the Malibu boat ready. So for today, we're going to work on the steering. It's got a lot of slop in it. We've replaced all the mechanical stuff underneath, but the actual steering shaft is worn out. So we're going to throw a new one of those in. The clutch pedal acts funny. I think it's worn out. So I got a new assembly for that. And then once we get those two things done, we'll probably move on to stuff we want to do. And I don't know what that is yet, but for now, let's work on the steering.
We're going to start with removing the air box for the air intake because all of our steering stuff that we're going to be tinkering with is underneath it.
Go ahead and pull this clamp here as well, get that tube out of the way. No, the one you're working on.
Oh, this guy?
Yep.
Sure, no problem.
Did you wear your Cummins shirt on purpose today?
I hope it doesn't offend the OBS.
That offends me.
It offends you, huh?
I'm a Cummins guy, but I got to be on Power Stroke side today.
Babe, we can't be easily offended around here, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a Power Stroke shirt.
Okay.
Or maybe I would have worn it.
You had one, but it broke.
That's good. You're the one that's defending Power Stroke here. Oh my gosh.
I love this Power Stroke.
Bruh. I know these are like a mile long, but oh, still in there. There it is. Impatience.
So I could have set you up with a drill. All right. Way down in there is the steering shaft that we were about to work on. So this is what I'm dealing with. That's a lot of slop.
Yeah, I'll say. Not fun to drive on the road.
No, when I was injured and I couldn't work on the truck myself, I took it to a local shop. I told them I needed a steering box. And they were like, I don't think it's your steering box. And they replaced everything but the steering box. And they said, we think you've got some slop in the steering shaft, but we can't find one. We have no way to source it. So I did what I do. I went on Amazon and bought one for 98 bucks, and I'm gonna put it in myself. Yep.
And while it was there, someone tried to break in and steal it.
Yes. And it sat for a few weeks, and they couldn't get it figured out. So I went up there by myself and I replaced the lock cylinder. Yep.
I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to, fine, I'll do it myself.
11 and a 12, that should get us there. Maybe an extension. It's so sloppy, it's hard to...
All right, he is under the dash currently.
Hopefully that's the same. Looks right to me. I think now what we do is move on to taking this assembly out because that steering shaft goes right in the way of this. So take the old clutch assembly out so we can get this one back in there. All right, it appears like we've got two 10mm bolts to go up to the top and four, what looks like 15mm that hold that brake booster on, but they also sandwich the clutch assembly. And it appears we have two bolts going from the outside in that hold the clutch master on. So I'll get all that off and then we'll throw this on the table and see what we're working with. Okay.
Got him, boys.
Okay. So the reason we're replacing this is because these bushings are worn out. And it's hard to tell, but see how that whole thing moves back and forth? What happens is when you put pressure on it, like you would pushing the clutch in, that bar kind of binds in there. So it's a weird feeling, like it goes down, gets really, really tight, and then it falls all of a sudden. And it's kind of hard on my knees, so I'm gonna put that one in there and hopefully it takes that away. So this is a new assembly. I know it's rusty looking, it's been sitting in the shop for a while. I adjusted this new arm where I think it's supposed to be. So it's time to throw this assembly back up in there and see if this thing will work. Well, the clutch assembly, it didn't fix anything. I got it put back in, got everything hooked back up, and when I press the pedal, it is just as hard as before. I crawled under it. It is a new clutch in it, and I'm thinking maybe they upgraded to like a stronger high performance one, so it's just hard to push. So when I replace the transmission, which needs to be done because my second and third synchros are gone on this one, I will be putting a factory clutch back in it because that's annoying. It's hard to push, and I don't like it. For now, what I'm gonna do is throw the steering shaft back in. I'm looking at it, and that's obviously only gonna go one way. It's got the provision for the bolt. And this one's the same way. It's got a flat spot there where the bolt goes through. So I can't adjust my steering wheel with this. If we drive it and it's not lined up, we're gonna have to pull the steering wheel off and straighten the steering wheel itself, because this is all only going one way. I'm so curious to see if this takes the slop out of it. Dadgummit, there's a car there.
A car we are very excited to get back to.
Absolutely.
Y'all. We actually got a plasma cutter in from Lincoln, and we are so freaking stoked to use it. We're gonna use it to be cutting out a bunch of the old suspension, and this thing's gonna be transformed soon. After we get back from our family camping trip and our Wisconsin to Iola trip, which we hope to see a bunch of you at, we will be getting back on the 57. It's gonna be great.
This looks pretty easy. All right, that's back in. It was on there some way. I gotta be right where the camera is. Steering shaft is back on. What I had to do is that bottom knuckle, I had to spread it. It was just tightened in too far, so I couldn't get everything aligned. That required Emily to be in the truck and me to be out here, so we weren't able to film it. But we got it back together, got it tightened up, and I still have steering slop. So my steering box is bad. I told the mechanic it was bad. They talked me into buying all this other stuff. And so now I get to order a steering box for it. It's very frustrating, but that's why I don't let people work on stuff, because I don't trust them. So we're about $1,000 into it now, and now we have to do more work because stuff they replaced didn't fix it. So it's the way it goes. Hopefully that's why you watch this channel, so you can get educated on how to work on your own car, so at least you know when the mechanic's telling you the truth or not. That's what we strive for here. So we're gonna get a steering box on order, and I don't really know what else to do to this truck right now. I'm waiting on a reverse shackle kit for the front. That'll be here Monday. This is Monday. So it'll be here a week from now.
This is Wednesday.
This is Wednesday. It'll be here a week from now. Next week. That's what I'm trying to say. It'll be here next week. So we're going to think about what to do next, and we'll see you then when we figure it out.
Well, we are back in the shop. It is the next day. And we just left the parts store, and we got us a steering box because Aaron just cannot take no for an answer. He's like, I am not okay with doing work and not getting results. So we have a steering box.
Yeah, I felt bad to leave this episode. Like, I don't mind driving it with sloppy steering, but you guys are watching us chase down a problem, and we finally find it, and then I don't think it'd be very kind to you if we didn't actually fix it. So this is one we got. If you go to the store, they're gonna say, do you have 2-bolt or 4-bolt cap? This is a 2-bolt, that's what's on there, so that's what we ordered and got in. First thing we're gonna do is take that steering knuckle off, and the way I like to do it is 2 hammers. You hit it on both sides, that's tapered, and it should squeeze it out. Because if I use the fork thing and go in there, I'm gonna tear my rubber boot up. So we're gonna try not to do that. Let's just get in there and get busy. I wanna get this done so that we can go do something fun. Yeah, this is the boot that I'm not wanting to tear up. So I'm gonna try to hit it, hold this back one and hit it with this, but there's a leaf spring in the way, so we'll see how that goes.
I'm just gonna reenact that sound of him removing that wham, 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 tink, and he got it off. I was trying not to film his every hammer swing, and then boom.
Yeah, it took me a little while. Using 2 hammers did not work, but hitting it directly on the end really hard worked. and it just popped out. And it looks good. Saved our rubber. Take the 2 bolts off the top, steering linkage, or whatever you call that, steering shaft off, and then we've got 3 bolts up here on the frame. So luckily those will be easy to get to. It's out.
Brought you a drain pan, but
Afraid it's gonna knock a hole in it.
that joker be dangling. Aaron, you're such a beast.
Hey, now we gotta get that off. Thank you. Yes, I know I'm not supposed to wear flip-flops in the shop.
It's not like you're working with anything heavy or anything.
No, I literally forgot. On the drive over, I was like, I didn't put my shoes on. So here we are. Now we need a puller for that.
Ooh. But it came off with a pop.
It did. Kind of rattled my wrist.
Oh my God.
That's how much you torque it.
Technical, huh?
Yeah. Very precise. It may be heavy, but it's not 18-wheeler heavy.
True.
You need a forklift to put those on when you're skinny as I am.
Do you prefer the upper or lower be started first?
I don't really care.
Okay.
I just prefer that if at all possible, it happens fast.
I'm gonna try my best. Gonna stick it out a little bit to...
Yeah, we'll see. Let me do this bottom one here, because I can actually see it.
Is that
Let me
starting?
grab a flashlight. Nope. Okay.
Pull it out.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll go.
Kind of hung up.
It's okay, throw another one in. I'll work those with the ratchet to make sure they're not stripped.
Yeah, it felt like it went a couple of threads.
Yeah, sounded to me like it was going in.
This one does not feel like it's starting for us.
Okay.
Oh, this one got started.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, get your ratchet and go ahead and tighten that up. And I'll start working on this.
Should I use a wrench instead of a ratchet, or?
See, I would prefer a ratchet because it's gonna take you half the time.
Oh, son of a gun. Yeah, I thought you meant the big ratchet, but you meant an actual ratchet.
I mean a ratchet, not an impact.
Yes, got it.
So our pitman arm went straight in, which means we must have got that arm thingy on the correct place. I think the one that bolts to the steering box is called a pitman arm, and this other one's maybe a drag link. I don't know, I'm an engine mechanic, not a steering mechanic.
Oh my heavenly day. Shock is like the Let Freedom Ring, though.
You know what they say, don't be sorry, just don't do it again.
Right? You do it again, you're not that sorry.
I'm tempted to say the hard part's done, but this has been quite the week.
Yeah, hold off on that statement. Everybody can relate to the one thing after the other effect.
Yeah. When you're doing this, be sure and knock a little dirt down in your steering box. Helps it break in.
Making it happen, my love.
Yep.
I have lady nails, or, well, I had lady nails because I had a modeling job last week. So I had to make my nails nice. But that is clearly going by the wayside.
Now I get to play this game, trying to get that started again.
Yeah, it's sliding on. All right, go check your steering wheel now, babe.
If it's still loose, I'll roll this off a hill.
Roll it off the what?
Off a hill.
Oh my gosh.
Still got some play.
I hope it's better at least.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's totally different. So where's that slack
It
coming
looks
from?
much better. It is it's hard to tell. It looks to me like it's in the knuckle, but I can't, I mean, I do see the gear to the steering box turning a little, but I don't know.
I think it's significantly better.
Yeah, I want you to come look at this and see what you think, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so that play is in the gearbox itself, and there's nothing we can do about that. New gearbox, all new front steering parts, and a new steering shaft. So that's just what it's going to be.
It's a lot better though.
It's a whole lot better. Okay,
Oh my gosh.
roll her out.
Good job, dude.
Thank you.
We're checking that off the list.
It's checked off. We need to put the
Airbox back
air box back in, but other than that, hard part's done.
Yes. Just got the base bolted down. We'll tighten a couple of hose clamps and we'll be good to go.
Well, that was a little bit more than we bargained for, but we got it going. Got most of the slop out. What's left in there is just, I guess, 1997 Ford engineering. Have you guys ever been to a local shop and totally been messed around? I've resisted it for many years. Even when we have a car under warranty, we're stressed out because we don't want to take it to the dealership. And because I was in a vulnerable spot, I trusted somebody and they still didn't fix my stuff. So part of Flying Sparks Garage is teaching you guys what to look for so that you don't get in that situation. So hopefully you enjoyed that. And we will see you on the next one.
Yeah, look forward to it, y'all.